Are you interested in better understanding your VHF and UHF radio's performance? Are you hesitant about spending $150 to $250 for a full-range, high-capacity SWR and power meter? This little meter from Surecom might be just what you need. Hi, and welcome to the Gadget Talk channel, where we do reviews and how-tos on a wide variety of cool electronic gadgets that catch my eye. If you find this video helpful, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to the Gadget Talk channel. You may have seen some of my videos where I often use an MFJ 874 SWR and power meter that covers the frequency range from 1.8 to 525 megahertz. It's a very nice device that's available for about $160 US. For those of you working on a budget and focusing mainly on VHF and UHF bands, the Surecom Mini Power SWR meter looks like an economical tool for measuring radio performance for your dual-band VHF, UHF radio or your GMRS radio. I've got an affiliate link below. This little meter is fairly new to the market, showing up on Amazon in March of 2021. It replaced an earlier version of the device. As with any mini device, there are some limitations necessary due to its small size. The specs say that to get a reliable SWR reading, the radio's output must be at least 3 watts. Speaking of watts, the spec also says that it will take up to 100 watts of output. Frankly, if you're testing a radio with that kind of output, you're probably better off with something like the MFJ 874. But for HTs, it's a perfect fit. As we'll see in a minute, the kit comes with the meter, instructions, a USB charging cable, a low-power dummy load, and a couple of connectors. Let's take a look at what you'll get. So here's the box that the Surecom SW-33Plus SWR and power meter comes in. It's a pretty nice box, good for shipping. It's a little big for storing, but it keeps everything nice and safe. Let's take a look at what comes in the box. The first thing you'll see is a user's manual. It's a 8.5 by 11 color page that gives you some of the key specifications, gives you kind of the features and benefits of the thing. So here are the accessories that come with it. Here's a small dummy load. This particular dummy load is a 50 ohm dummy load, and it'll take up to 20 watts peak. Generally, you're going to want to deal with much less than that, and it recommends that you use an average output from your radio of 5 watts. If you need more than that with this particular device, you'll have to upgrade the dummy load and pick up another one off Amazon or at your favorite radio store. But for just a little handy talkie, this one is going to work just fine. It comes with some connectors. Here's an adapter from an SMA male to a BNC. Here is an SMA male to the other side of the BNC, the female side or the socket side. And this little connector has got males on both sides, so it's just a matter of an extender, if you will. And then this one is a gender-changing SMA connector with a socket on one side and a plug on the other. And then last but not least, we've got the charging cable for the device. It's a USB micro style charging cable to keep the device all powered up. So let's take a look at the device itself. So here is the device. It's the SW-33Plus, And it's really pretty simple. It's got a very small screen where you can make some adjustments in terms of what's displayed. At this side, you're going to be putting the load, which means the dummy or an antenna if you're measuring SWR. And here is the side that you're going to connect to the radio itself. And this is the on-off button. So with that as an overview, let's dig out a radio and take a look at some measurements and what this thing is going to look like and what you're going to be able to do with it. Okay, so here I've got a Radioddity GS-5B, little dual band, handy talkie, and I've got the Surecom 33Plus connected to it. I'm going to check power in this case, so I've got the dummy load set right there. So I simply have got this, I've got it supported, I've got it screwed in. I've got it on the standard VHF calling channel, but I'm not really going to be transmitting much because it's all going into a dummy load. Now you can see here on the display that this one's reading vertical. It's got SWR, forward power, reverse power. That's going to be used to compute the SWR. And if I push the little red button, I can move the display around and change what's on it. So here I moved it sideways. If I was looking at it from the side, here I flipped that sideways to the other side. So if I was looking at it from the side, just the SWR, just the forward power, and then I'm back to where I started. So depending on what you're looking and the angle that you're looking at it, you can make changes there. So I'm just going to press the push to talk for just a moment to get a reading here. And it records that reading, and it shows that my power is 5.38 watts, and my SWR is 1 because it's a dummy load. It's not a real antenna, so you're going to get an almost perfect SWR when you're using a dummy load. Well, speaking of antennas and SWR, let's change out the dummy load for an antenna. In this case, I'm going to have to use that little adapter. I'm using the little silver adapter to get the antenna on. So now I've got my device in line with my antenna, and because it is an antenna, I've changed the power supply for the radio down to low power, so that's going to change here. And because I'm going to be emitting some RF, I'm going to identify myself as well. So we'll push the talk, identify myself, and then the meter is going to capture that average reading and display it for me. Radio test Alpha Alpha 7, Juliet Mike, radio test. Okay, so as we look here, we can see that we got pretty good SWR. It's 1.3 to 1. The forward power was 2.38 watts, so a little over 2 watts in low power with this Radioddity GS-5B, and the return or the reflected power was 0.042, which was used to compute that standing wave ratio number at the top. So that's the device. It's easy to use, it's pretty accurate, and for what most of us would be dealing with, it's going to be just fine, and it's a whale of a lot less expensive than one of the fancy heavy-duty SWR and power meters. So there you have it. I did a couple of tests with the MFJ meter too, and the results were pretty close. The MFJ meter tended to measure power about 0.3 of a watt lower. SWR was similar too. If this is something you want to keep in your radio go bag, you'll probably want to rummage around the house to find a small plastic box to store the device. The box it comes in is nice, but big. Again, if you found this video helpful, please click the thumbs up button below the video and subscribe to the Gadget Talk channel. Click the bell icon to be notified when I post new videos. I've got an affiliate link to Amazon in the video description below, so please click on the link to help support the channel. 73, and thanks for watching.